Simply Fun Cooking. I'm Rachel Hanson, and today I have with me, who are you, bud? This is Nolan. Nolan's joining us today. He's going to be shy for a few minutes. I'm really excited because today we are getting ready for fall, and we're going to be doing some fun fall recipes that are perfect for chilly evenings. They're perfect for tailgates, get-togethers, and I'm really excited to share them with you. So the first recipe we are starting with today is our beverage, and we are getting an apple sangria ready to go. And Nolan here is excited to help me. We have some sliced up oranges here.
Can I have one?
Yeah, you can.
Can
All right.
you eat the outside?
No, you want to eat just the inside. So in our quick stir pitcher, we have some apple cider and some white wine, some Pinot Grigio. So chilled apple cider, chilled Pinot Grigio, half and half of each. You can do 1 bottle of each if you'd like. And to that, we add a tablespoon of honey we've got in there. And we're going to just put some orange slices in there. Nolan, you want to put one of these orange slices in? And we're going to add a couple cinnamon sticks. If you want to add 2 cinnamon sticks, Nolan. And we're going to add some apple slices. We're going to let this sit and let the flavors mix for a while, and then it'll be ready to try when we get everything else done. All right. Simple slicer is really great for things like apples, because when you slice it, you get this little fun star shape in your apple slices. You don't need to take the core out. We can just pop these seeds out, and that way we don't have the seeds in our drink. All right, we're going to mix this. Like I said, we're just going to let it sit, and we're going to get our other ingredients ready, our other recipes ready, and we'll come back to this. We are going to get our chili started. I'm really excited about this recipe because chili is such a nice, wonderful, warm dish to have, especially this time of year when it starts getting cold out. You just want that nice, warm dinner. It's perfect for entertaining because you can make a lot of it really quickly and easily. So we are going to get our chili started. A lot of very familiar ingredients that you might use in your chilies will go in here today. Meat and beans and tomatoes. But we're going to add an extra little surprise. We're going to add pumpkin to our chili today. So we're going to make it in the quick cooker. We have been using the quick cooker a lot in our house. Almost every day it gets used for something. The kids love eggs in it. We can make our hard-boiled eggs. They only take 7 minutes. I don't have to stand there and watch water boil. And they come out perfectly. Now, the thing about making eggs in a pressure cooker is that there is not enough time for the egg white to stick to the shell when you cook them really quickly at such a high temperature. So they peel super easily, which is really nice. These kids have been having a lot of eggs for breakfast. That's a great way to get them some quick and easy protein in the morning. And they love the hard-boiled eggs, and they're all ready to go. So I just can make a whole bunch at once and keep them in the fridge. All right, we're going to start with an onion here. And Nolan has volunteered to help chop this up. So we're just going to give it a quick rough chop. And we're going to throw this in the manual food processor. There you go, bud. Now I have heating up in the quick cooker just a little bit of oil.
You made it stuck.
And as soon as our onions and peppers are sliced, we're going to put them in there and just kind of saute them up a little bit before we add the rest of our ingredients. I love the quick slice for dicing up our peppers. It's so easy. We'll go ahead and throw those in. When you use the quick slice, you definitely want to cut your pepper in half and do half at a time. It works much better than doing the whole pepper all at once. Now the quick slice, you've seen us use it before, and we're going to use it again later today. Of course, you've seen it for peppers, but today we're going to use it for cheese as well when we get to our pasta salad. We use this all the time in our house. Tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, zucchinis, cheese, even meat. Notice I don't complain when he wants to snack on oranges. It's one of the great things about getting your kids in the kitchen helping with you is they want to try different foods. So we're just going to saute these vegetables in here for just a couple minutes, and then we'll add the rest of our chili ingredients in here. So just a couple tablespoons of oil at the bottom before we started. It could be any kind of oil that you prefer. We're going to add some garlic. This chili definitely needs garlic. One of the things that Nolan loves to help me do is open cans. Can you open those cans for me? And while you're working on that, I'm going to start with some garlic here. A couple cloves of garlic. I love our garlic press because you don't have to clean the garlic. You don't have to peel the garlic off. Just pull off the clove, press it in, and it comes with this fabulous little tool so you can just scoop the shell right out. Now you can add as much or as little garlic as you'd like to your chili. In our house, we love garlic, so we add a little extra. Now for this recipe, I mentioned that we're going to be putting some pumpkin in our chili. I actually prepared the pumpkin last night, got it all ready to go. Save us a little bit of time today. But all I did was we bought just a regular pie pumpkin from the store, and I cut it in half, used the scoop loop to pull out the seeds, which we are going to season and roast as snacks. But then I just put the whole pumpkin, both halves, right in the quick cooker with a little bit of water at the bottom, about a cup of water.
Mama, I need help.
And I just turned it to the steam setting and pressed go. And the pumpkin was perfect. So the outside of the pumpkin just came right off. It was beautiful. So we'll use some of the pumpkin puree that we made up today for our chili. And it is just a puree. I didn't even have to do anything fancy with it to puree it. It just came out nice and soft. And so we're going to use some of it today and put it in the chili, and the rest of it for pumpkin bars. After we've sauteed up these veggies just a little bit, let's turn that off. Yep. All right, now we're just going to add our ingredients. I have a can of black beans and a can of red beans. They're drained and rinsed. 2 cans of diced tomatoes. I like getting the ones with some flavoring, some garlic and onion in there. A small can of tomato paste.
Lift me up so I can do it.
All right. Gently, careful. There you go. All right, we're going to add 1 pound of ground beef. Now you can definitely do ground turkey or chicken. This recipe would also be great with some shredded pork. Oh, I'm going to do it because we have raw meat. Now we like to, in our house, we like to buy our ground beef in bulk. We buy many pounds at a time in bulk, and then we just separate it into 1 pound bags and freeze it so that you always have 1 pound portions ready to go. So we're just going to dump the whole thing in there, the raw ground beef, and we're going to chop it up in just a minute here. And then we have our pumpkin puree. So you can see here, it's nice and soft and pureed, and this is just going to give our chili a really nice texture, plus a little bit of that nice fall pumpkin flavor. So we're going to go ahead and add that in. Now this is 1 pie pumpkin minus about 2 cups, because we set 2 cups aside for our pumpkin bars. And the rest is going in here. All right, so now we're just going to use the mix and chop and kind of mix things together. Chop up that beef a little bit. Mix in our pumpkin. And we cannot forget the most important ingredient, chili powder. Because it's not chili without chili powder. Right, Nolan? All right, so we're going to put 2 tablespoons in there. We like it nice and flavorful and spicy. Now the quick cooker is nice. It has a line inside. It'll tell you the halfway mark and the 2/3 mark. You never want to fill your quick cooker more than 2/3 full because you need to have some room in there to pressurize. So this amount is perfect. It brings us right up to our line. All right, and I'm going to add just about a cup of water to have a little extra liquid in here, and then we'll get it started. We'll add our cup of water just using that manual food processor bowl so we get the rest of the onions in there too. And we'll just kind of stir it in, and we'll get this started. All right, so all we need to do is put the top on, and then we just turn this to the stew and chili setting and press start. That's all there is to it. All right, we're going to clean this up just a little bit, and then we'll get ready to make our pasta salad. All right, we're going to get ready for our pasta salad. Now, this is one that I make all year round. It's great for the summer, great for summer get-togethers, but it's also nice in the fall for tailgating and just for gatherings in general. So what we're going to do here is we need to boil up our noodles, and I like to get the multicolored rotini just because it's so beautiful in the bowl. We're going to boil them up, but we're also going to add some carrots in there. And I like to take the carrots and chop them up and put them in with the pasta, because if you cook them up just a little bit, they're not as crunchy. They're easier to grab with the fork. And cooking them in the water with the noodles, it's the perfect amount of time. So you can kind of do both at once. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slice up our carrots with the simple slicer. Now with the simple slicer, oh, we got flying carrots, Nolan. I like to hold the food until we get down low enough that I can use the food holder. But you'll notice I never ever put my fingers inside near the blade because this sucker is sharp. Right, Nolan? We don't want anyone to get cut.
Yep.
So when we start getting low enough, that is when we can get out our food holder. And it's so easy. We just stab our carrots right on there. And continue on. All right. So there's our carrots, all sliced and ready to go.
Just let me take this bite before I help you.
Okay. We're still working on our oranges here. All right, so I've got our multi-pot ready to go. Got some water boiling in here. We're going to add just a box, 12-ounce box of our multicolor rotini. And then we're going to add our carrots. Now we're going to let this come up to a boil and just cook for a few minutes until our pasta is all ready to go. Now, in the meantime, while that's cooking, we're going to get the rest of our ingredients for our pasta salad ready to go. We're going to add some tomatoes. Now here we have fresh from the garden little cherry tomatoes. So we're going to slice those up. Now here's the thing about tomatoes for pasta salad. It is such a pain to sit there and cut each one in half individually. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the cloves and cut.
What's the cloves and cut?
That's this thing right here. It has 2 plates in it. They're spring-loaded, and so we can chop up a bunch of tomatoes at once. Do you want to help me pull some stems off tomatoes, bud? All right. Nolan helped me pick all these tomatoes from our garden yesterday.
Put the tomatoes in here so they don't roll away.
Well, that's a good idea. I'm putting them in here so I can slice them up. Now, the close and cut will slice up about half of a pint of tomatoes at a time, which means if you want about a pint of tomatoes for the dish that you're making for your pasta salad, it's just 2 swipes of the knife, which is really great. Very quick, very easy. Now we need a knife with a 7-inch blade. Okay, excuse me, bud. And all you do is set the knife on the edge, close it up, cut back and forth like this. There's a little stopper at the back side for you, and then all of your tomatoes are cut in half. So we'll go ahead and put those in the bowl.
We need more.
We do need more, so we're going to do this one more time, okay? Add some more tomatoes. Well, they have springs on them so that they both give way a little bit when you press it down, so your knife will cut right through the middle. Nolan, do you remember what else we used the cloves and cut for? Bagels, English muffins, chicken breasts, pork cutlets, even a round of brie. The smaller rounds of brie fit in here perfectly. Now you can even cut your bagel in half and then put half a bagel in there and cut it again, and then you can get bagel thins without having to buy separate bagel thins. Just make your own. So knife on the edge, close. Now the only thing you want to be careful is that you want to make sure that you can still see the tip of that knife the whole time, because otherwise, whoop, there's all our tomatoes. If you pull the knife in too far, it'll get stuck inside. So as long as you can see the tip of that knife the whole time, you won't get your knife stuck inside. And if it does get stuck, if you pull it in too far, just open it up, reposition your knife, and keep going. Pretty easy. All right, we're going to add some fresh basil to our dish. Love fresh basil. It gives a really nice depth and dimension to our dish. So what we're going to do is we are just going to take some basil and we're going to pull the large stems off. I'm going to show you how you can chiffonade your basil really quickly and easily with a knife, but then I'm also going to show you the herb mill. Yeah.
Can I do it?
The herb mill, I'm just throwing our basil leaves in here.
No, that's enough.
Now I found that with some of these bigger leaves, just ripping them in half quickly first helps a lot. Just makes it a little bit easier. Now there's a ceramic ball in there, and what this does is it helps push all of the leaves down towards the gears. Now wait, let's make sure you have that over the bowl before you spin it. So go ahead and spin. Now the key to making the herb mill work really well is to make sure that all your herbs are nice and washed and dried. Dried herbs work best. Okay, make sure it all lands in the bowl, bud. Now if you don't have an herb mill, quick and easy way to chiffonade your basil is to just take your leaves and stack them up and then roll them up. Just roll them like this. And then, excuse me, Nolan, I need a knife. So then you take your knife and you just give little slices along your roll.
It's coming.
Okay, get it in the bowl, bud. All right, and that's a quick and easy way to chiffonade your basil with a knife. Fresh basil is one of those herbs that you can very easily grow inside year-round. So we have a pot of it in our front room, so we can always have basil on hand, fresh.
Mama.
Now we're going to add a little bit of some Italian seasoning here. A little more than that. Probably add a couple teaspoons. Two tablespoons of Italian seasoning. A little salt on your tomatoes as well. That'll help bring out the flavor. Now this comes with a little cap that goes on the bottom. And this is really nice because if you're using fresh herbs on a dish, maybe fresh basil or parsley on a pasta or a chicken dish, or fresh rosemary on your potatoes, when you have leftovers, you can just go ahead and put that little cap on the bottom and you can throw it in your fridge. So when you heat up your leftovers, you can have some of that fresh herb on top again.
Can we do this now?
You ready to use the quick slice again?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to mix these a little bit.
How?
We are going to use the quick slice for our fresh feta cheese. Now cheese, of course, is cheaper to buy in a block instead of the pre-shredded versions. It'll also stay fresher longer. It usually melts better. So we'll just get our little block of feta here. We are going to use the whole thing.
Can I have a big piece of one?
All right, so put on here. And we slice it just like this. Now wait.
I want a big piece.
Oh, here you go. Here's a chunk for you. So slice it one way, and you see we're just going to pick it up. We've got our slices here. So we picked it up, and we're just going to turn it the other way. So we can slice it again. All right. And now,
They got sticks.
yeah, they're kind of like little feta sticks. So these will be really easy to crumble into our dish. So now we just need to wait for our noodles and our carrots. Our multi-pot is so handy because you see we can just lift this out. And all of our carrots and noodles are ready to go. We just drain it right here. And I'm just going to go rinse this in cold water quick. Rinsing your noodles does take some of the starches off of it. You do get a much creamier texture if you don't rinse your noodles. But I do want to cool them down a bit before putting them in our pasta salads. I'm going to go ahead and pour them right in our bowl. Now this multi-pot that I used for our carrots and our noodles today, this comes in so handy. I've been using this a lot for dinners at our house. Of course, the strainer is great because, like I just showed you, we can just cook up our pasta and we can just pull it right out to strain it. And especially when we don't necessarily want to rinse our noodles, it's easy to just kind of pick it up and dump it into the next dish we're working on. And of course, the next thing we can do is, because it's silicone, we can collapse it a level and we can use it to steam vegetables. So you can actually, be boiling your potatoes underneath, and you can steam your asparagus and your chicken on top. Or you can actually collapse it all the way, and then we can use it as a trivet, or set it on top, and it just helps make sure nothing boils over on your pan. All right, so we've got our tomatoes and basil and feta and carrots and our multicolor rotini. Nolan, doesn't that look nice? You like the color? All right. Definitely add some garlic to this dish, some Italian seasoning, a little bit of salt, and then Italian dressing.
What's Italian?
I prefer a creamier version of Italian. You could use any kind that you and your family loves. You could even use homemade. And just go ahead and pour some on there, probably about a cup. And we'll just mix this around. And again, this is one of those dishes that we're going to want to let sit and let the flavors mix. Now, I've also found that if you make this dish ahead of time, the noodles are going to absorb some of that dressing. So if you really like the nice creamy texture with a lot of dressing on there, you'll probably have to add a little bit more the next day. But if you like it a little bit drier, it's not dry, but not as liquidy, and you just want the flavor there but not necessarily a lot of liquid, then making this dish the day before you need it is perfect. So that is all ready to go. We've got our sangria ready to go.
Yum.
And our chili is still working, so we'll come back to our chili in just a little bit. All right, Nolan, you ready to start dishing some up? Are you hungry? He's hungry. All right, so we're going to dish up a little bit of pasta salad right here. Yummy. We love all those noodles and cheese, don't we, Nolan?
Yeah, but I don't want to eat the tomato.
You don't want to eat the tomatoes. Okay, well, we'll just leave those there. Even the garden tomatoes are from our garden, bud. All right, on the other side of this plate, now you have to eat all your other stuff first, but we're going to add some pumpkin bars. Now, remember I said that we saved about 2 cups of the pumpkin puree. We put the rest in the chili, but we saved about 2 cups worth, and we made pumpkin bars. One of the things that I love to do is that after these bars are made and they've cooled a little bit, especially if I'm going to be taking them somewhere to share, before you frost them, go ahead and cut them up. That way it makes it super easy to dish them up, and it still looks pretty the whole time. So these are already sliced. So all I have to do is reach in, and we can pull it out. All ready to go.
Why are they stuck together, though?
Well, I have the frosting on there, and it's all frosted, but they're all sliced underneath and ready to go. So that's a really quick tip for taking dishes to parties. You can do that with any kind of bar, especially ones that are frosted, or cake. You can do that with too. So we've got our pasta salad. We've got our pumpkin bars.
Is this an X?
It is an X.
There's two kinds of X's, right?
We'll get a little bit of our nice fall sangria poured, ready to go. Now this is not for you, bud, but I can get you some apple cider. Would you like that? All right, let's check and see how our chili is doing. How are we doing here? 2 minutes, Nolan. We have just 2 minutes. So we're going to put a little bit of chili in this bowl. We're going to shred some fresh cheddar on there, put a little dollop of sour cream on there. It's going to be delicious. Now some fun ways to mix up your chili and give it some different flavors. I love putting things like blue cheese on there. It gives it that nice little kick, something different. Our chili is done. I can't wait to check this out. So remember, it's all pressurized. The first thing we want to do is go ahead and release the pressure. And again, I love that the button to release the pressure is nowhere near where the steam comes out, and it actually tips it away from your face. So if you're standing in front of it, you won't have steam in your face. So we're going to go ahead and release the pressure, then we'll open this up, stir it, and take a look at it. I'm going to need a ladle. Can you get me a ladle? Oh my goodness, it is boiling in here, bud.
Nice.
Yeah. You want to check it out?
Boiling.
Yeah.
Is that bubble?
Yep, it's bubbling, it's boiling. Ooh, it's got like a nice creamy texture to it. Look at, and then we're going to get a scoop of this chili. Look at that. Now some nice crumbled up tortilla chips on there would be good too. Get some fresh cheese for you. So there we have it, some delicious, perfect recipes for fall, for tailgating, for entertaining, and for staying warm as the nights start to cool down. And of course, just something delicious for you too. So next time you're looking for something quick and easy and seasonal, go ahead and give these recipes a try. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. If you'd like to learn more about these recipes or any of the Pampered Chef products that you saw today, go ahead and visit pamperedchef.com. You can search for me, Rachel Hanson, or your local Pampered Chef consultant. And I want to give a special thank you to Sunshine Supper for having us in their kitchen again. If you're local in Sun Prairie, you should definitely come out on a Monday night for a free meal. Nolan, do you want to say goodbye to everybody who's watching us today?
Bye, 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 bye.
Can you say thanks for joining us?
Bye, 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 bye.
All right, everyone, thanks for joining us today.